The president has brought all the fertilizer to the depot of National Cereals and Produce Board. It is the county governments, because Agriculture is involved, to do last mile distribution of fertilizer in Murang'a. Your governor is spending more time doing cabros in Murang'a than the real thing. My governor is globetrotting, going to where Jesus Christ was born, as opposed as to providing farmers to Kipchunu, Madam Speaker, or providing farmers in Trinidad last mile distribution of fertilizer, Madam Speaker. Our governors are busy doing politics, Madam Speaker. Even you have seen in Homa Bay, the deputy governor has resigned, Oyugi Magwanga, Madam Speaker, because people have failed. The governor there is an absentee governor. While we appreciate what she is doing under broad-based, that one should not disenfranchise the people of Homa Bay from getting services, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, and therefore, as I drive the point home, the issue of guarantee minimum returns, as I go to the bill, I'm happy with the definition of comprehensive cost. Like farm inputs. Seeds are expensive, Madam Speaker. We thank the president for fertilizer. But you believe 2 kilos of maize seedlings from Kenya Seed is 600. Yet Kenya Seed is in Kitale, less than 30 kilometers from my county. Yet the seedlings are expensive. We don't import. Madam Speaker, do you see the paradox? While the president has made sure fertilizer is subsidized, the Kenya Seed is still selling seeds very expensively. It is very costly, Madam Speaker. Even as we talk, although we have a challenge of DAP, there is 23, and Mavuno, which is provided. So the issue of herbicides, pesticides, Madam Speaker, we have been told that there are pesticides and acaricides and herbicides that we use in Kenya that has been banned in the US because it's cancer causing. How many of our farmers have been exposed to cancer causing, Madam Speaker? It's very unfortunate. I can see a number of clerks also are farmers, and that is why they are agreeing with me. Madam Speaker, the issue of fertilizer, we have agreed. Livestock production, including animal feeds and stuff. Madam Speaker, if you are a farmer of dairy, the most expensive feed is animal feed. Can you believe we are exporting animal feed from Uganda? Even eggs. We should be embarrassed as a country. I want to challenge you, Madam Speaker, and I know you are a farmer. If you see the cost of running dairy farming, you will be shocked. It's costly. It's too expensive, Madam Speaker. And therefore, we must give cushion. Because if we have to get animal feed from Uganda, what are we doing? Even drugs, Madam Speaker, for the ones to deworm our animals and many others. So I'm happy. In your definition, you have improved it as a comprehensive cost. Labor, Madam Speaker, you hire laborers, they do farm laborers. You hire one in the morning, by afternoon they are gone. You hire one in the evening, by morning they are gone. So the issue of labor cost is still, because if today, Madam Speaker, if we are to implement the minimum wage of our laborers in our farms, no one will be able to afford them. Because you and me know we pay 5,000, 10,000, 6,000. But if you have to go for minimum wage, including statutory deductions, one laborer might need 20,000. Madam Speaker, another issue is fuel. The issue of fuel is still up. We are aware that it's an ongoing war of Iran and Iraq, Iran and US. Madam Speaker, you have been told there is a blockage of access of fuel. So we expect it to go up, Madam Speaker, because we have subsidized fertilizer. The seeds are expensive. The fuel is expensive. And then you have to lease the land. The issue of irrigation and machinery. Madam Speaker, I want to appeal to the government and county governments. Why don't they give us tax exemption for farm machinery? So that the cost of production is lower as opposed as the cost of output, Madam Speaker, so that we get profit. The reason most Kenyans shy from going to farming, especially my generation, is because the high cost of production. I doubt, Madam Speaker, if young people, I don't know who is young in this room, maybe Mercy, your clerk, could be among the youngest in this room. I doubt if they can go today and agree to do farming. They might not, because the cost of production is still high. Madam Speaker, you are today in the issue of water. And Murang'a is I don't know why Murang'a there is a lot of problems. The governor there has completely, he cannot run that county. Because how can he allow the Water Resource Authority to impose, Madam Speaker, domestic use water from 50 cents has been increased to 2 shillings and 50 cents. That is quite expensive. And Murang'a people use a lot of water. Go to Mwea. One of the largest irrigation in this country is Mwea. They are now from 50 cents, they are paying 2 shillings for public use, Madam Speaker. Under the regulations that we pass, and that is why I'm challenging the Senate to come up with a motion to nullify these regulations, because water will be expensive, Madam Speaker. Here in Nairobi, there is water rationing. Imagine the water that you are paying 50 cents per cubic meter is now 2 shillings and 50 cents. How many people in Muguru Kwanjenga will be able to buy? I agree Nairobi, Madam Speaker, is dysfunctional under Governor Sakaja. He used to tell us in a walk, but it looks like it does not work. Go to here, Wayaki Way, there is cabbage. Go here, club around about, there is cabbage. Everywhere you drive in this Nairobi, there is cabbage. And I want to thank the president for coming to rescue Nairobi by injecting 80 billion. Because Nairobi should look like a capital city among the cities in the world, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I saw the MCS led by your friend, I know the lady who say they want to move an impeachment motion. And I'm challenging them, don't fear! Bring the motion. We will deal with the governor once and for all and allow him to go and do other things, Madam Speaker. Because Nairobi is choking under cabbage. Madam Speaker, when it rains, Nairobi look like River Nile. The drainage is poor, everything is poor. Like a place called Litain in Kericho, Madam Speaker. When it rains in this Nairobi, you can't move. Yet the county government of Nairobi has received close to 150 billion in the last 4 years, including their own source revenue, Madam Speaker. I want to challenge the MCS because I know some of them of your friends. Let them bring the impeachment motion. We'll do the needful, Madam Speaker. Allow people who are incompetent to go home and allow Kenyans to do other things. Even farm rent, Madam Speaker, we rent expensively. Post-harvest handling cost, I agree with you, Madam Speaker. I want to add one word. You should have put livestock insurance as part of also guarantee minimum returns. And even post-harvest losses. Madam Speaker, it is not fair. Here in Nyandarua, we have so many potatoes, but Kenyans are dying 500 kilometers in Mandera, Marsabit, or Garissa, or Isiolo. It is very unfair. We have enough food in this country. Madam Speaker, I want to say this. A country that cannot feed its own population of 3.3 million Kenyans is not a good country, Madam Speaker. They say a nation is known by how they treat their vulnerable, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, role of county government, I think we have agreed with that. I can see my light is on, Madam Speaker. Let me give you the numbers, Madam Speaker, to enrich. I know we can still do this in the third reading. I can see coffee is now 81 shillings per kilo. Tea, Madam Speaker, which is still a problem. I know Mount Kenya, you are lucky. Under KTDA, us, we are not lucky. We are being given 23 shillings per kilo, which is still very bad, Madam Speaker. The issue of maize, we still want 5,000 per 90 kilos, but we want it to be reduced to 50 kilos by 3,500. Madam Speaker, stabilization fund of milk should be 50 shillings per liter so that we inject at least 2 billion to the milk sector to stabilize what we call price stabilization, which is under guarantee minimum returns. On the issue of macadamia, I'm happy. It has grown from 25 shillings per kilo to 100 shillings per kilo for macadamia farmers, especially. Madam Speaker, for Senator Ogola, who comes, and Senator, the incoming president, maybe by 2050, he might be my running mate, Senator Okiya Mutata, the sugarcane per tonnage, and I know Mount Kenya will support me overwhelmingly courtesy of you. Madam Speaker, it is now moved from 4,500 per ton to 5,300 per ton.